All right, guys, I'm going to call a spade a spade. Joy Ann Reid of MSNBS, you may know it as MSNBC, she is a pervert. No other way to put it, man. The left are full of perverts. And they actually allow these people into the mainstream media. The mainstream media is truly the enemy of the people. Now, you guys know in Florida, Ron DeSantis really went after these woke schools, pushing basically pedo stuff in the classroom. And these books, he got them out of there. The left went nuts about that. Why is it that the left is defending inappropriate books in schools? Folks, the left is out of control, man. They are really, really out of control. These people, I believe, should be arrested that actually pushing this propaganda in the classroom to groom children. It's sickening. And you know what? Major corporations are to blame. Big tech is to blame also as well. The mainstream media definitely is to blame. Joy Reid is a sick person, in my opinion. Sick. Not only is she a racist, man, but she seems to be a pervert. She had Moms for Liberty on a show, The Readout, which nobody watches, by the way. Ratings are crap. And Joy Reid was actually defending the sick propaganda that's going on in the classroom, guys. We got a whole 7-minute video here we're going to react to. Prepare to be stunned. Prepare to be stunned. So, like this video, subscribe to the channel, become a channel member. Remember, live stream every single Friday. Just starts at $5 a month. Click the join button on YouTube or check the link in the description. If you're watching on Rumble, click the join button there. Get access to the same thing. So, here we go. Here is the clip right here. Moms for Liberty leads push to ban books. That's the way MSNBS is pushing it. No, they're trying to keep these books out of school libraries. Taxpayers actually pay for the education of kids, and this stuff is inappropriate, man. But Joy Reid actually defends this stuff. MSNBC defends this stuff. Bunch of sick people. Let's go ahead and roll it, man.
That you have and other Moms for Liberty advocates have to decide that a book, an award-winning book like All Boys Aren't Blue, isn't appropriate for students to read. What is your expertise?
What a tragic story of a young man who's anally raped by his adult family member. So you have incest, rape, pedophilia. Joy, you said you'd let me answer, so
sure.
I'm going to answer
Please
for
do.
you. In what context is a strap-on dildo acceptable for public school?
It's not. Just that simple. It is not. This stuff was never in school when I was in school. This some new thing, man, by the woke left. They're definitely pushing this. This is out of control. And she's going to defend this stuff. Joy Reid.
That's my question to you. Tell me what the context around the strap-on dildo or the rape of a minor child by a teacher.
Hold on a second.
No.
Wait,
we're talking about public school.
One moment.
All right.
So now you've asked me a question.
Sure.
I'm going to answer it.
Okay.
Well, who is the main character? What's the name of the main character in All Boys Aren't Blue?
Why is that even relevant? Why is that relevant?
You're asking me right now.
You just gave me very specific information about this book, so you're presenting yourself as somebody expert.
It's the gentleman.
Hold on. Who's the main character in the book?
You don't need to be an expert to know that stuff is not appropriate in schools.
The main character is the author.
What's his name?
George, I believe, is his first name.
Because you're giving me very specific information that is.
You're asking me to remember the name of an author.
You just remembered very specific names.
Joy.
Here's my question.
We're talking about
Here's my question.
You didn't answer my question.
No. I'm going to answer your
Great.
question.
I would love to hear that.
Absolutely. Well, I'm interviewing you and you're not interviewing me. So let's just make sure it's a conversation. Okay,
great.
So what I'm saying to you is that as you are not an expert in this book.
I don't have to be an expert to know that dildos aren't appropriate for public school.
Exactly. You do not need to be an expert Parents know this. This stuff is not appropriate for school.
I mean, come on, let's get real.
This book is a full context story, as you said, of the author's experience. Why is it your right or a Moms for Liberty activist's right to say that a parent who wants their child to have access to this book, which gives a personal experience of this author, why doesn't a liberal parent, for instance, or a parent of an LGBTQ kid, why don't they have a right for their child to just have access to this book? Why is it your right to say they can't?
So, again, we're talking about incest, rape, and pedophilia.
And each parent, each parent has to decide what is appropriate for their child to read. So I want you to answer. I'm going to ask it one more time.
Right.
What is your right to tell a parent who wants their child, who might feel seen by this story, why don't they have the right? Why don't they have the right?
Wait a minute. What did she say? Let's go back. Let me go back right here.
I want you to answer. I'm going to ask it one more time.
Right.
What is your right to tell a parent who wants their child, who might feel seen by this story?
Seen by this story? We're talking about horrific stuff. I got questions about Joy Reid.
Why don't they have the right? Why don't they have the right as a parent to say, my child can have access to this book?
If a child feels seen by this story, that means that they have been the victim of a predator. That means
exactly right there.
That they have either been raped by a family member, they've experienced
and your proof of that is what?
You just said that if a child feels seen by this story.
You're now making assumptions about it.
No, but if a child has been raped, we should do a lot better than put a book on a library
Now you're literally
shelf.
creating a story behind a child that you don't know. Let me show you a form. This is a form that can be obtained in Broward County, Florida. Okay. I'm going to show it to the audience, and then I'm going to show it to you. Okay. This is called the opt. Yeah, please. I'm going to hand it to you. So much. It's called the opt-out form.
Okay.
An opt-out form would allow any parent, because you said you are in favor of parental rights.
I am.
It would allow any parent to opt out of their child being able to take books out of the library without their parents' permission.
Okay.
So that Moms for Liberty, why not advocate that every school in America have an opt-out form so that a parent who doesn't want their child to access a book like All Boys Aren't Blue,
right,
that they can make that choice? Because then each parent, including a liberal parent, a black parent, a parent who wants their child to read a book about African-American history, then we
want children to read books about
Why not just opt
history,
out for yourself rather than tell other parents what they can and cannot?
First of all, I think what you're talking about here is a wonderful step in the right direction. We should be having conversations about this. This is about local control. Mm-hmm. A lot of these decisions are made at the local school board level. Mm-hmm. And that's where these decisions should be made. And there should be vibrant conversations about what's happening in our public schools and what kids have access to. Joy, however, maybe we could just put all the books with all the graphic sexual content. The dildos, the rape, the incest.
I'm sorry.
Let's do a back room. Let's put a curtain up in the library.
She is triggered now. Joy Reid is triggered.
Hold on. One moment.
Remember when we were little and you would go to the video store?
The books that Moms for Liberty.
The books that Moms for Liberty. With pornography.
I know that I've seen.
We could just do that in the public library.
I have seen tapes of what Moms for Liberty does, and you all go into school board meetings and you read graphic stuff.
Disingenuous conversation.
No, it's not.
There's America used to understand that there's something called age-appropriate content.
Right, and here's my question again.
The left doesn't want age-appropriate content anymore. They want to get this kind of stuff in front of the youngest of the youngest who are vulnerable to groom them.
Again, Ruby Bridges Goes to School is on the list of books that Moms for Liberty has attempted to have removed.
Absolutely not.
It absolutely is. Let me ask about the people who are making the decision for other parents, because you have not answered yet why a liberal parent or an African-American parent can't say,
we have parents who are Democrats who are members of our organization.
And why does she keep bringing up black parents? Does it even matter? I don't care if you're Asian, white, black, green, yellow. This stuff is not appropriate for any kid of any color.
We're still trying to make decisions for all the kids. Here are some of the parents that are filing, or some of your advocates. Bridget Ziegler, the Moms for Liberty co-founder, the wife of the recently ousted Florida Republican Party chairman, Christian Ziegler, who allegedly was involved in threesomes, same-sex threesomes. Mrs. Ziegler was removed from the school board at which she was a leader.
She wasn't removed from the school board.
Okay, you have Lauren DePaula. She was making book ban requests in Alachua County, but then records show that she and her husband didn't live there. They'd sold their home in that county. Carrie Blair in Tennessee, who was arrested for property theft charges after allegedly stealing from Target, skip scanning in Target. Why should those three people get to make decisions about what other children should be able to read? Other parents' children should be able to read.
Do you know that I served as a school board member from 2016 to 2020?
Are you going to answer my question?
Yeah, I'm
because
going to.
we don't have an endless time.
Joy, I'm going to answer your question, but I need you to understand that when I was an elected representative, I would sit on that dais. And how dare I, sitting there as an elected representative, judge a parent when they would come to the podium to speak and advocate for their child? Because as we started this conversation, we'll end it. Every parent has a fundamental right to direct the upbringing of their children. And I would not stand in judgment,
let us end on a point of agreement.
About a parent's education level, their sexual orientation, their race, their religion. That is not what America is about.
I'm going to answer. I'm going to ask my question, Ms. Justice. Mrs. Justice. That's
Thank you.
If a parent believes that their child should be able to read Ruby Bridges,
we believe that that children should be able to read.
Then
Bridges
how can Moms
American
for Liberty
hero.
insist that the school board take that book away and then say that a parent who wants the child to be able to read it must purchase it? That's essentially putting a tax on parents who want their children to read the book. Your kids get to have books for free that you agree with, but children who want to read, or parents who want their children to read books you don't like, have to purchase it. That doesn't sound fair.
Did you know that in the city that we're sitting in, only a quarter of children are reading on grade level?
That's a great point. That's a great point.
And so while we're having this conversation about books in libraries, two things should be happening.
That's a great point.
We should be talking about literacy rates and the fact that America's kids are not learning how to read, and we should be having vibrant conversations about what books should be in libraries.
Absolutely.
Man, Joy Reid is sick. Absolutely sick. If I was actually in charge of MSNBC, I'd fire her right now. I would absolutely fire her right now. This is disgusting, man. How can you defend books like that? These books are not even banned. If you want them, you can go on Amazon or something like that and order them, because we shouldn't have every single book in a public school library. If you want to read that stuff, go to a public library or something like that. Get it on Amazon. Books in school should be age appropriate, but the left doesn't want that anymore. Joy Reid is disgusting, man. Absolutely disgusting. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.